87.com, DJ Nuff. I'm Unique and I'm here with PNB Rock.
Oh yeah.
And he just dropped a brand new project called Going Through the Motion, GTTM.
Yeah.
And I want to start from the very beginning with you. Like, we know like the borderline basics. Like, you had a rough life. You went to jail for a stint, and after that, that's what made you want to chase music. But I want you to go back to the kid that was Rakim Allen, living in Germantown with 4 brothers and a single mother, and like, what was life really like?
Well, you pretty much said it just now. I came from a single parent household. My mom had 5 boys. One of them was autistic. I mean, like, he was older than me, but he was like kind of younger than everybody because like he can't really even talk. You feel me? So it was like we had to take care of him. So I got 2 older, 2 younger. I was in the middle.
Okay.
I don't know, we moved around a lot, you feel me, because we ain't always had it like that, you feel me. We moved around a lot, we was always in and out of shelters and shit, always like switching schools and shit like that, you feel me. Like, I went to probably like 6 different elementary schools, you feel me. I don't know, it was tough, you feel me, like just everyday life shit, you know. I've been through a lot of shit, just struggling, and now you feel me, like I'm lit.
So, but what was that like? I know when you were in the 6th grade, you got kicked out your crib.
Yeah.
Like, what led up to that?
I mean, it just pretty much was like, my mom was real strict, you feel me? She was like a strict parent. Like, she one of them people that you had to be in the crib at a certain time. You can't have no company over the crib. You ain't ask, or even she not in there. You feel me? Like, she just was like real like hard on her rules and shit. Like, I was like a bad kid, you would say. Like, I used to rebel. I ain't really like. I used to have friends. I used to stay out whenever they wanted to stay out. They could have friends over. They could spend the night out. You feel me? Like, and I just wanted the freedom to do what the fuck I wanted to do, like them. You feel me? I just wanted to know, like, wow, what's different from me and them? Like, people always had more shit than us. I used to be like wanting different shit. You feel me? So I just go out and do what I wanted to do. You feel me? Like, whenever I could. So I'd be sneaking out the crib. And eventually I got caught up, you feel me, smoking weed, shit like that, just doing different shit like that everybody else was doing, you feel me, but she just wasn't going for none of that shit, so she would kick me the fuck out the crib. Like, you can't stay here if you ain't living by my rules. You don't want to come in here at a certain time, you got to go, you feel me. If you don't want to do right in school, like, she'd come whoop my ass in school, you feel me, like, embarrass me in front of my friends type shit, you feel me, but it got to a point where, like, I just couldn't deal with that shit no more, and I didn't even want to be in the crib no more, like, and I was young, you feel me, like, I didn't even give a fuck, like, it was like at one point in time, my uncle was like the only person that could keep me. Like, he'd whoop my ass for real, like, if it got down to it. Like, if I wasn't listening to my mom, she'd call him and he'd come really set that shit down. And he got killed. And after that, it was pretty much like nobody could really hold me. Nobody can really stop me from doing what the fuck I wanted to do. I just getting more and more worse with the shit. Like, started playing with guns, started really being in the streets. You feel me? Started robbing people, started selling drugs. You feel me? It was just different shit. Like, and I just started getting older at a young age. Going in and out of placements, you feel me? I don't know if y'all familiar with placement. Placement is like a juvenile youth facility for like people who get locked up, you feel me? Like, and I just been in and out of them shits, fighting, going through the shit like this. Everyday shit for me was just like in a mix, like hardcore shit, you feel me? Like, I was really doing shit like that. People probably rap about to this day. Like, I really was in them situations where as though like I ain't have a house, where as though like I probably had slept in a car, abandoned car or some shit, you feel me? Breaking a crib that I see for sale and laying that bitch, you feel me? Like, there's a lot of shit like that, you feel me?
But why were you so stubborn? Like, I know, like, looking back, you said you wanted to do what everyone else was doing. Like, why now do you think you were as stubborn with your mom?
I don't know. I just feel like I was rich at heart, you feel me? But I ain't had no money, you feel me? Like, I always knew that I was going to have some type of cash, but it just wasn't there. Like, my mom couldn't get me what I wanted. Like, she'd get me some off-brand shit before she give me some shit that is like, she might, like, for instance, one year, little school time, everybody was rocking the Air Force Ones and shit. My mom tried to go the cheap route. She wanted to pay less. She got us some Shaq Jones. They just look just like Air Force Ones, but they not that, you feel me? It's Shaq dunking on the side of some goofy shit. Mm-hmm. She tried to send me to school with them. I knew niggas was gonna try to grind me the fuck up when I went to school, but I did it. I went the first day. Niggas killed my shit. I'm fighting every day for like 3 days trying to wear these fucking sneaks, you feel me? I'm like, man, fuck, I ain't wearing these shit. I'm about to go get some sneaks, bro. Like, and that's when the shit kicked in. Like, how I'm gonna get these sneaks, you feel me? Like, I started juggling and finessing to get where I had to win. Like, my mom see me coming in the crib with different shit. She trying to figure out like how I'm getting all this shit. I'm like, my friends gave it to me. My friend's mom see I ain't had nothing. She gave it to me. Like, the fuck, what do it matter? Like, you ain't get it. You feel me? Like, that's how I was coming with my mom. Like, me and my mom, we was always like,
But has.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had a son and he was doing the same stuff you were doing at that age.
And shit, I probably would have drove me crazy. You feel me? But a lot of shit that I used to do when I was young, I regret it. You feel me? Like not a lot, but like especially like just the shit that me and my mom interactions. You feel me? Like I wish a lot of shit would have been different with me and my mom. And like my family period. You feel me? Like people, I don't deal with my family at all. Like to this day, like I got cousins and shit like everywhere, all around the world. Like uncles and aunts and you feel me? Like I don't talk to them at all. Like you feel me? Because like I've been in so many situations where it's like I was fucked up at my lowest point, and they knew it. And I would reach out, you feel me? Nobody would like give me no helping hand, you feel me? Nobody. Every time I was locked up, I never got no visits. I never got no mail from nobody. You feel me? I never got no money from nobody. You feel me? Like people just wasn't in my corner. You feel me? Like and there was a lot of times when I really felt like niggas should have been there. And the last time I got locked up, I just really said fuck everybody. You feel me? Like whoever. I ain't give a fuck who was. Cause I had friends before I went to jail, all that bitches, everything. But it was like when I got locked up, I did 33 months, and then those 33 months. If I heard from somebody, it was scarce, you feel me? Like, and that was just because I was beating down on the letters, like, damn, like, this how y'all come, like, well, I had to, like, really pour my heart out into the mail for people to write me back type shit, you feel me? And that was weird to me. Like, I'm with these motherfuckers every day, we doing all this shit. We might even got money together, we might fuck some bitches together, we might hit licks together, we might share the same clothes together, and these niggas ain't even showing me no love, or even my family, you feel me? So I cut everybody off and I came home, you feel me? Like, fuck it, like, I'm doing this music shit, and if it happened, happens. If it don't, like I'm still gonna be in the same situation. You feel me? It ain't like, but if it do happen though, don't come around asking for shit. You feel me? Like that's how I am with this shit. You feel me?
So you did a freestyle on the Cosmic Kev Come Up show where you talked about your friend that got life when he was 18, and you also talked about the death of your uncle. Can you go a little bit more in detail? For
yeah, when I got locked up, I met a lot of people when I was in the jails. You feel me? Like that was in a lot of situations that I was in. One of the situations that really like hit me hard was like I met a guy. I was locked up. We was in a cell. We was in a cell. It was like I want to say it was like a fucking quarantine type of shit. Like whereas though you gotta wait for a couple days until you get put on population. So I was in a cell with this nigga for like 7 days, and it just so happened that we got sent to the same block as each other. You feel me? And in those 7 days I just got cool with the nigga, and then when I went to the block. Like I got even more cool with him towards it. Like I wanted to be in a cell with him. Like we got a cell agreement. We put a cell with each other. So fucking he just was telling me like, whoa, his situation. Like I don't in jail. You don't really want to talk about shit like that. Like if a nigga don't tell you, like it ain't your fucking business to ask. You feel me? Like one day he came and told me like why he was locked up and shit. Like he told me the situation. I'm like, damn, hey, man, you got life. Like, he told me he got life. He was only 18. I'm like, fuck. He got locked up when he was 16. They let him out when he was 17, you feel me, like, and then he reopened the case back up. So it was like, he ain't never really get to live like his young adult life where it's lit, you feel me, like he's gonna be locked up for all of that shit, you feel me, and it's like, I felt that shit, and it's like, I felt like I wanted to write a song about it, you feel me, and let the people know his situation, you feel me, and that's my nigga to this day. And I know he ain't never gonna come home. He probably ain't never. He heard the song though because I played it over the phone and shit. And I know his peoples be letting him hear it and shit, but that shit over shit now. But my uncle, I was talking about him earlier. Like he was like my, you could say father figure. You feel me? Like that was my mom, brother, her youngest brother. He was like hip with the shit. Like he was the cool uncle. Like he was trapping. He always had a lot of money when I seen him. He always like had the cool cars and shit. Like he always took care of us. You feel me? Like. No matter what, he always made sure he was cool. Like, if it was school shit, my mom needed school shit, he'd go give her some bread to go get us, like, his book bags and little uniforms and shit. Like, he always came to the crib with money for us. Like, it don't matter what, there's 5 of us, and we all got our own little separate little mitts and shit. Whatever. If I got $25, he might get 30. He might get whatever, you feel me? Like, he just, however your age was, that's what you got. But when he got killed, it was just like, that was a hard hit for the family because he really kept the family like this because we got family all around the world. Like, not just saying like far as shit, but it's like we close enough where we could see each other if we wanted to, you feel me? Like Virginia, fucking Jersey, fucking like Delaware, like Philly. There's nobody really farther than that, you feel me? He used to keep us together, like we used to do family reunions, fucking little shit like that. But now it's like when he dies, like don't nobody, like everybody just where they at with this shit. Like, he was like the only person that could really like get everybody together and be cool. Like when he died, like pretty much shit just went down the drain for niggas. Like I stopped listening to my mom. Couldn't really nobody really keep me under the racks for like when he got killed. I was just like a fucking lost cause out here.
Take me through R&B 1 up until now.
R&B 1. I wrote R&B 1 when I was locked up upstate. That's when I really started making like the music and shit. I was up there when I was doing my time. I was at SCI Forest. You feel me? That's a state correctional institution. It's a max jail, level 5. I'm up there with guys that got life. I'm up there with guys that got 60 years. You feel me? I'm up there with guys that got a lot of time. You feel me? Like it ain't no little shit. You feel me? So they was up there doing their music shit. You feel me? A lot of them. A lot of people was rapping. You had a lot of poets. You had a lot of different shit. People was doing whatever. In the yard, that's when you see a lot of different people doing what they doing. And music was like one of the things that attracted me. Like it was a crowd around that shit. Like you would have people like out there with their little keyboards and shit. Keyboards is like you can buy a Casio on commissary for $200. If your people got money or whatever, if you got money, you can buy one $200. You can save up to like 5 beats on there that you make and shit. And a lot of people in there was nice with that shit, like making the beats and shit. I was actually nice too. I made a couple beats. You feel me? And people used to be like, that was a thing in the jails. You feel me? Like when it's our time to go to the yard, people going, if you fuck with the music, you can go over to the rap table and fuck with them. If you fuck with the singers, nigga, you gonna fuck over. It's like different crowds and shit. You feel me? So I used to be over there with the rappers and shit. Niggas just be rapping about pain, singing about shit that I've been through. You feel me? Like I could relate to this shit. So I was like really, that was like, I used to love that shit. Like when I started seeing like, it was like a lot of older guys doing that shit. People was fucking with them OD. And these people that's never gonna come home type shit though, like they just doing this for the recreation, you feel me? And I really fucked with that shit and I just was like, man, let me try this shit out, you feel me? Because I always knew I had a good voice throughout my whole life. I knew I could sing, you feel me? Because like I would be singing other people's shit, like on the radio if it come on, like I like the music all my life, so I knew I had a voice. And I was like, man, I could probably do that shit, you feel me? Like I could probably say some cooler shit than them because I'm young. And I could say some more hip shit, you feel me? So I just went and tried. I was just in the cell writing for a minute. My cellie, he was older than me. One of the days that I was in there writing, he was like, man, like fuck is you writing? Like you don't get no mail, like you don't even send mail, so like what the fuck is you writing? Or you writing a book? And I'm like, nah, I'm writing raps and shit. You know, I let him hear this shit, you feel me? He was fucking with it, like heavy, like, damn, this shit fire, like you gotta spit this shit in the yard. But I wasn't like, had the courage to go in the yard yet, you feel me? Like I ain't know if my shit was hot or ready to be in the yard. Cause niggas was really hot as shit in the yard. Whereas though like niggas, I knew niggas shit, you feel me? Like it was like a radio, you feel me? So when I went out there, the first time I went out there, niggas was fucking my shit OD, like going crazy for my shit. Like to whereas though the next day I came out, like niggas had like lists and shit. Like, no, spit the joint when you was talking about when you was talking about your mom and them. You feel me? Like it was like niggas knew the shit. So you feel me? Like that shit just had me hyped to want to go more, do more, write more, kept writing, and that's when I came out with R&B 1. Like, that was just like talking about everything that I was going through in my life up until like when I was in jail was R&B 1. You feel me? Like I talked about like a lot of struggle shit, a lot of like pain shit, like, and I talked about girls, of course, you feel me? Because I always, even though I ain't never had money, like I always had girls for some reason. Like I could get a girl. But, yeah, that's pretty much was R&B 1. When I came home, I was fucking with my niggas from around my way. You feel me? Because they was doing the music and shit, you feel me? Like, so I was like really like trying to figure out how can I get into this shit, because they had like it wasn't like they was established as rappers, but from like they go to the studio, they know what studios is where it's popping, you feel me? Like they know a little bit about music more than me, you feel me? So I was doing my little shit with them, you feel me? They had a little session. I went to the session and I recorded this song called Weekend Baby. It was like my first recorded song ever and shit. And that shit was a fucking smash. And I got my man Chaz hopped on it. So when we dropped that shit on SoundCloud for Philly, that was just a different sound, like of music, like period, because people wasn't like singing on the song for one, and people wasn't like talking about like it was more so like killing niggas and talking about guns and like fucking niggas up and robbing. It wasn't no cool, fun music. You feel me? Like it was more so gangster shit. And when I came with that, it was for the bitches. It was like some smooth shit, like, and it was singing and rapping, and niggas was like, oh, this shit is fire. Like the streets of Philly was fucking with it, you feel me? So I was just building up a momentum, and I was fucking the niggas from around my way, the same people that I was talking about earlier, you feel me, that wasn't really moving for me when I was in jail. And I started like building up a buzz, you feel me, and it wasn't like I was with the same people like from around my way, PNB, like that's where the PNB name come from. PNB Rockets, Past Stories and Baiting. Everybody from around my way got PNB in front of their name, you feel me? So basically my shit was popping more than like the people that was around there that was doing this shit, like, and people started noticing this shit, and I started noticing this shit, like, and I started like building up my fans, and it was like I started separating myself. That's when I started like getting like my own shit together, you feel me? Like now I don't really need nobody to go to the studio no more. I don't really need nobody to give me no beats no more. I can do all this shit on my own, you feel me? So I started separating myself from niggas, and I linked up with my manager, Mont and Bam. They just some people that just believed in me, like seeing a nigga that ain't had nobody in this corner, seeing a nigga that really could had the potential to do something. I was like, man, we gonna fuck with him, and I fucked with him, and we here to this day, you feel me? We still rocking with each other, and like they started taking me in the studio more and more often. Like I started getting more comfortable like recording. Like I started recording like every day type shit instead of like me going like twice a week or once a month. Like how I was doing, like it wasn't like an everyday thing for me, like. And they made it like an everyday thing for me, you feel me? So we started, like, after I dropped R&B 1, I forgot to tell y'all, when I dropped R&B 1, that shit hit the streets of Philly, like, kind of hard. Like for me personally, I ain't never seen nobody do this shit but Meek Mills, you feel me? And it's like, that was a long time ago. Fucking, I was selling my CDs for $10, you feel me? Like, people wasn't selling their CDs for shit, they was just giving away free music, like putting on that piff or wherever. Like, for me, I said, fuck it, I think this shit is high, I think people was gonna buy this shit because the reactions that I was getting off of Instagram, like I was putting up 15-second Instagram clips every day, like the shit that I'm recording. People like, drop this shit. When you gonna put this shit out? Like I need to hear this shit. So I'm knowing like the shit is going crazy, like people anticipating this tape. So I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna finally put this shit out. Y'all gonna have to pay for this shit, you feel me? And people was like, fuck it, we gonna buy it. I'm like, all right, so it's $10. I'm thinking people was like, oh fuck no, this nigga tripping. I'll pay you $5, I'll give you $3. You feel me? But niggas was paying 10 and niggas was copping more than one. Niggas was saying like, no, young boy, this shit fire. I wanna see you win. I wanna cop this much. And my soul, I ain't think that I was gonna sell that much. So I only bought one box. I got 200. And that shit went in the first day. Fast as shit. 2,000. I'm like, oh shit. It's the most money I had in my hands in a minute. You feel me? So I'm trooming off these. This is my new track. Went and got another 300 printed out, and them shits was just, I was just selling them shits throughout the whole city, just getting this shit popping, and people was talking about this shit. And this whole time while I'm selling it, I'm still in the studio making new songs, you feel me? So R&B 1 popping, while that shit doing whatever it's doing, I'm already recording R&B 2, you feel me? It's like 5 months later I dropped R&B 2, but
you were on the run during that time,
definitely.
Right?
The whole time, I ain't even mentioned that, but the whole time I was doing all of this shit, like when I came home from upstate and I started doing my music shit, like I was in the halfway house, you feel me? And it was like I was stuck in that bitch. Like, I don't know if y'all familiar with the halfway house. The halfway house is like, when you come home from upstate, you go in the halfway house, you gotta get like a job, you gotta do something, you gotta have like a house where as though your PO can come and see, like, check up on you, and make sure ain't no drugs and guns in there, you feel me?
It's part of your probation.
Yeah, it's part of my parole. I was on parole. I didn't have nobody, I didn't have no family members and no friends to say, yo, he can stay here. You feel me? This is the house that y'all can come to and check it out. So I was stuck in the halfway house for like 7 months. I couldn't get out that bitch. And I wasn't trying to max out in there. I only had like probably like 5 or 6 months left. But I wasn't trying to do that shit in the halfway house because it's like I'm still locked up, you feel me? So the one day they let me out and shit, I just ain't never come the fuck back. Like, and I was on the run, like really. Like, but it was like so, I was so much of a nobody, you feel me? Like it didn't really matter. Like they ain't gonna know where the fuck to find me at because I ain't gonna be around where you think I'm gonna be at, you feel me? Like I ain't even going back to the block, you feel me? Like it was a whole bunch of shit like that. And like when I was doing my music shit, I was PNB Rock. I wasn't Rakim Island. So it wasn't like they didn't put the shit together like until R&B 2 came out, you feel me? I don't know how. Like so R&B 2 came out. It didn't really come out like I set a date for it to come out. Mm-hmm. And around this time, like I'm getting shows and all of that shit. Like people was booking me. So I'm at one of my shows in Atlantic City. This is my first like show in Atlantic City. So they booked me. They got me a hotel and all that shit. So I'm hyped. I'm like, man, they paid for me to come out here. You feel me? They got me transportation and all that, and they paying for my hotel. So I'm like, oh yeah, we lit. I'm staying under this hotel though. When I go down there, it's a casino downstairs. I mean, I go down there. I'm thinking I'm about to go gamble or something. Like 5 state troopers like walk up on me and shit. Like yeah, Rakim Island, like you gotta come with us and shit. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I ain't rocking my, y'all got the wrong nigga and shit. Like, I'm just trying to, I don't know what the fuck they talking about for real, because me doing all this shit and ain't nothing ever happened to me. Like, in my head, like, I'm not on the run. Like, don't nobody know me, you feel me? Like, don't nobody know who the fuck I am, you feel me? Like, I'm gonna be on the run for a minute. They showed me this picture, like, this you right here, like, Rakim Island, you gotta come with us, like, grab my arm. And I was with, like, I was with my brothers and shit, and, like, a couple other niggas and shit. That shit got into, like, a little scuffle, like, we got into a little situation with the state troopers, because, like, niggas wasn't trying to get locked up, you feel me? Like, I'm from here with, like, oh, like, no, I ain't rock, like, I'm not Rakim Island, y'all got the wrong nigga, like, I'm pushing them off me and shit, like, my brothers and them got a little scuffle with the cops, but then I knew shit was real because real cops started coming in and shit. Like, I'm like, all right, these niggas ain't playing. Like, everybody chill. Like, so they locked me up and shit. And when I got locked up, that's when I found out that fucking casinos got the facial recognition joint. I ain't never know that shit. So I'm like, damn, how y'all find out who I was? Like, they're like, we ain't know who you was. We ain't know you had a show. We didn't know you was PNB Rock. We just know that you came in this casino with a state warrant. You feel me? And if you come in the fucking casino, they got the facial recognition shit, bro. Killed me. So I had to do the rest of my time in the county and shit. But I was lit in the county. Like, when I say lit in the county, it's like I went in the jails and niggas was like, treat me like I was a celebrity, you feel me? Like, I felt like, damn, this PNB Rock, I don't know who this is. Like, to the point where, like, I was getting, like, when I got locked up, I had to do the rest of my little time. R&B 2 was still about to drop. It still didn't drop, but niggas thinking I was gonna come home. I was like, man, I'm probably have to do the rest of my little time. Y'all might wanna put that shit out, you feel me? While I'm in here, that shit could be doing what it's doing. They put this shit out and that shit started going crazy, like OD crazy. Like, I started getting so much mail, like every day I was getting like 7 to 8 pieces of mail every day, like from people that I don't know, from like fans, like people just like, yo, we fucking with you out here, like we love what you're doing, we rooting for you. Like, a lot of shit started happening for me when I did that last little bit. Like, record labels started reaching out. My shit got aired on MTV. This was a lot of shit, you feel me? Like, for me, that was a lot, you feel me? Like, I'm like, damn, my shit booming while I'm in the jails. And it's like, every day I talk to my peoples on the phone, it's some new shit. Like, they telling me this, they telling me that. They're like, your numbers going up. Fucking people was fucking with you right here. Like, we got the free PNB Rock campaign. Niggas has got free PNB Rock t-shirts. Like, shit is lit. Like, so when I came home, I mean, I was hearing all this shit in the jails. And I was knowing it was lit because I went from like 7,000 followers to like 27,000 followers while I was in jail. I'm like, so I know something was going on, but it didn't hit me like hard. So I came home and I seen that shit. Like, I had pulled up in a Sprinter on somebody's block party. And I'm not from North Philly. I'm from Germantown. You feel me? Like, I'm from far, like down, all the way down, like all the way down. It's still, people consider it as North Philly, but it's uptown. Like, we don't consider ourselves part of North Philly. Like, we uptown. Like, we geo with that shit too. So it's like, for me to be down in North Philly, don't nobody know me down in North Philly. When I jumped off the bus, everybody knew me down that bitch. Like, people, like little kids was running up on me crying and shit, like hugging me and shit. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. And that's when it really hit me. Like, oh no, like this shit really like busting in Philly right now. Like, you clicking in Philly. But that was R&B 1 to R&B 2, and then I eventually I felt like I was doing as much as that I could. Like, I had Philly, Jersey, Delaware, like the whole tri-state area. I felt like I had that shit on smash. Like, I was doing bookings, I was getting hella shows. But it was like I was trying to figure out, like, damn, like, how do I get my music like LA? I want people to listen to my shit. Like, why are we close to shit to New York and don't nobody know who I am in New York? Like, when I go out to New York, don't nobody know me. Why the fuck I can't go to Virginia and do the same thing? So I was trying to feel like, dang, how can I spread the music? Like, my numbers is cool for me in Philly and Jersey and Delaware, but I want to be like worldwide with this shit, you feel me? And labels was hitting me up, so I'm like, fuck it, let me listen to what these people were saying, you feel me? Like, I sat down, talked to a few people, and Atlantic was like one of the people that hit me up while I was in the jails, you feel me? Like, they actually like put the effort in to come see me when I was up there. So it's like, that's what I was gonna fuck with. I already knew it for real in my head, because that one gesture of them coming to see me while I was in the jail, like, really meant like that. Damn, them niggas, like, they coming crazy, like, they serious about this shit. Like, ain't nobody else do it, you feel me? Anybody could have did it, you feel me? But they ain't do it. And that's when it just really hit me, like, I just need to sign. Like, I'm about to drop another tape, and for this tape, I don't want it to be like just a Philly tape, you feel me? Like, I don't want it to be like just everybody in my area is fucking with this shit. Like, I want this shit to be like worldwide, you feel me? So I signed to Atlanta. They gave me the bag, and we dropped R&B 3 with them. Like, R&B 3, I feel like it's like timeless, you feel me? Like, R&B 3, I feel like people gonna pick up on that shit like within the next couple weeks or months or years, whatever. But I know that shit is gonna do something, you feel me? Like, because I put a lot into that project, and that's a lot of the songs that's on that project I did that when I was in jail, my little 5-month bid that I did, and it was like, I already knew what people wanted, you feel me? I already knew what niggas liked it, but I was in tune, like, with the sound. It's not like the last time when I was in jail and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I just was writing. And now I had a lot of time to sit back and think about shit. I ain't even mentioned the last little 50 days that I was locked up in the county. I got put in the hole for some dumb shit, just talking my cash shit to the COs, like, they was mad because I was just on the phone long as shit, and I do that every day. So when it was time for me to hang up the phone, like, the nigga tried to hang my phone up, like, nah, we're not. I hit him with the joint, like, oh, what the fuck you doing, pussy? You ain't paid for this phone time, are you tripping? Like, I got in that bag with the CO because I know I'm going home, I'm maxing out. Like, it ain't really nothing they could do to me but put me in the hole. They put me in the hole 50 days. And that 50 days, I wrote, like, some heat, though, you feel me? Like, that was probably a couple of the best songs that I wrote. Like, I wrote Free the Real in there. I wrote Alone in there. Like, if people watching this, they know these songs is like some of my top songs, like, off of R&B 3. It's like, and when I did that R&B 3 shit, I knew that shit was gonna be, like, crazy, but it didn't really, like, do what I thought it was gonna do. You feel me? Like, that wasn't the tape that everybody, a lot of people fucked with it. Like, especially, I got fans, like, from New York. I got fans from, like, all these different places, but it wasn't, like, as heavy that I thought it was gonna be, being as though, like, I got signed. You feel me? Like, I didn't know that just because you got signed, you still gotta, like, that ain't nothing. Just because you got signed, that's just the beginning. Like, you gotta go hard once you get signed. That's just the inkling of that's just the start and shit. You feel me? Like, you gotta go harder than you was already going. I'm thinking, like, all right, I got signed. They about to push the button. This is about to be on go. You feel me? But no, that ain't really how it was, and I ain't know that. Now, R&B 3 come out. I put my R&B 3 out. The shit was, I felt like that was my best tape to that day. I mean, like, I was doing hella shows. I did shows off of R&B 3 for a whole year. You feel me? Like, I ain't switch it up. You feel me? Like, I ain't had no different songs or nothing. Like, I ain't put nothing on my SoundCloud or nothing. Like, I just was rocking off the R&B 3s for a long ass time. Now we're here. We're going through the motions. You feel me? Yeah. I put R&B 3 out October 2015. Yeah. So the whole time, every day I'm in the studio. You feel me? So it ain't like I record every day. It ain't like I always I'm not one of those people that got like thousands of songs and all that shit. Like, but I'm in there trying to make us a hit though every day. You feel me? Like, I'm in there trying, like, if I go in there and I record something that don't sound like, damn, this shit is about to be it, I will fucking stop and I won't finish it. You feel me? Like, people could tell you, like, it's a lot of times where I go in there and I make some shit and that shit might be alright. It might be a nice little vibe. Like, people might in the studio, everybody in the studio might be fucking with it. You feel me? But if I don't feel like it's the one, I'm not gonna pursue that shit. I'm not gonna even be enthusiastic about finishing recording this shit. So I knew Going Through the Motions was gonna be like the project to do for me, though. Like as far as like put me on the scale, but like all the up and coming artists that's coming out, like that I was already in the class with. Like, I feel like I was coming up with the Uzis, I was coming up with the 21s. Like, I got songs with 21. You feel me? Like, when we first started off type shit, and it just, I wasn't on a level though. You feel me? Like, not on a level as far as the music, but like as far as like the people knowing, like the having fans, like just the fame period. Like, so now, like, Going Through the Motions dropping, it's like now I'm up there with the people that, like, I felt like I already should have been up there with. You feel me? Like, I'm getting more recognized for the shit that I'm putting out. You feel me? Now it's like the prices went up, like, shit lit. You feel me? Like, I'm happy right now where everything is at, and I'm just continually working. Like, right after this, I'm going right to the studio across the street. You feel me? To continue that. Me and A Boogie got a tape we about to put out, and I'm still about to drop another tape in 3 months, just because I got this shit rolling right now, and I know all the eyes is on me. People hit me up from all around the world right now, like trying to work with me type shit, and I just want to keep my foot on the gas. You feel me?
Speaking of your fans, there was one fan that hit you up and said, like, you saved them from committing suicide.
Yeah, that's a lot of people who say that. I mean,
like, how is that to go from kids seeing you and crying, and then, like, to see a number of people telling you, like, yeah, your music helped save my life? Like, what does that? It's
a hell of a feeling. It's like, it give me the satisfaction. You feel like, dang, like, the shit that I'm doing is like, what I do it for is actually working. You feel me? Like, it's not just I'm just doing this shit for the money. It's like, I love music. Like, if I could say that I ever liked anything, it was always music. You feel me? Like, I ain't never had no hobbies when I was growing up. I ain't never like played basketball. or I ain't never watched fucking TV and none of that shit. Like watch cartoons and none of that shit. Like I wasn't like the typical kid. Like I was outside with my shit. Like I wanted to be in the streets. You feel me? And every time, like whatever situation that I'm in, I always could vibe with music, and I always could like if I'm going through some shit, like I know I could listen to a song that could just have me vibing and chilling out, like and have me just like I could forget about it for like smoke my weed and just chill for a minute. So I know music was always could be like an escape for me, but I ain't never know it was gonna be like this though. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie.
And I think it's dope because, like, if you look at some of your comments, a lot of people are like, he's from Philly just like me, he's just like me. And
oh yeah, it's like I'm not your typical like when you get signed or you get like some type of popularity where you start acting like you different. Like I seen this shit happen to a lot of people that I know. Like, motherfuckers get a little recognition for the shit that they doing and they just let that shit get to their head and think they somebody that they not, you feel me? I'm humble. Like I be chilling, like I love all my fans. Like they'll tell you, like I still smoke with my fans. You feel me? Like I don't even like they the ones who got me lit. Like fuck, I wouldn't be doing none of this shit. If they wasn't coming to the shows, they wasn't listening to the music, buying the music. You feel me? Like I wouldn't be. Shit, they got me my chain. They got me this Louis belt, this fucking mitt in my pocket. All this shit came from them. You feel me? Like it's like, and I know that. So why would I ever look down on my fans, or if they come up to me and say, "Rock, can I get a picture? I don't give a fuck if it's raining outside. We gonna take a couple flicks. If you want a selfie, if you want to take a gang pic, like let's get it." Like I love my fans and they know that. You feel me? So it's like I'm one of those people that interact with them all the time, like on Twitter. Like if I see something like on Instagram, I might motherfucking be surprised, like, "Yo, is this really PNB Rock?" No, this really me. You feel me? Like I always do this shit. Like I show love because it's like I really wouldn't be here without them.
so outside of music, you have your burger spot, you have your dig with what's it, Kick USA.
Yeah.
What else are you working on?
I got a lot of shit going on, like New Balance. I'm pretty much trying to do like everything. You feel me? Like I just got 2 placements in the Fast and the Furious movie that's about to come out on a soundtrack. One of my joints is gonna be in the movie. Like I can't really tell y'all, but it's in there. You feel me? Like I seen this shit with my eyes, and my shit. Niggas riding down the bridge banging my shit type shit. You feel me? But I'm just working on any type of. I'm not trying to be just like your regular. Like I'm not just gonna put myself and say like I'm just a rapper or I'm just a singer. Like I'm an artist that's trying to work and do other shit. You feel me? Like I know music. This shit, I'm not the nigga that's gonna think this shit is gonna last forever. You know what I'm saying? Like I know everything got like a time. And you got waves for shit like that. Right now it's my wave, and I ain't no naive nigga and think I'm gonna be having this shit forever. So, you know, that's why I got the businesses that I got, like my burger lanes, and I'm trying to get properties and shit like that. Like as far as like beats, niggas landlords and shit. You ain't gonna see me in there, but you know it's gonna be coming in my bank account. You feel me? But at the end of the day, it's like I know this shit not gonna last forever, and I ain't saying it like in a negative way, but I'm always gonna have my hands in music. But I'm trying to do everything. You feel me? Like whatever come my way, like. If it's beneficial and it's smart, it's helping my brand get bigger, definitely we gonna do that shit. Like, I'm trying to be in movies, I'm trying to be on TV, it ain't even gotta be even in the spotlight type shit neither though. It could be behind the scenes, like if it's beneficial, if it's something that we could benefit off, we can make money, we can build our brand, let's get it.